Dear students and viewers, in this video we will explore assembly view of universal joint using PTC Creo. It is student version since it is used for educational purpose. So this universal joint assembly consists of 7 parts, 7 components in it: fork, center block, collar, taper pin, etc. We will initiate with fork, then center, shaft, followed by parallel key, pin, collar and taper pin. Okay. First we will try to model this fork in the sketch mode in Creo. Okay. So let us explore the dimensions in fork quickly. It is a very simple diagram, easy diagram. So first we will explore, we will model the middle part, which consists of dimensions of 57, 84 into 16. Okay, hope you could see this. So 57 is the width and 84 is the total length as provided, and extrusion can be provided for 16. Okay, and meanwhile then we will make the right hand side part, which is a coincidental 2 circle followed by it, and then we will do what we'll draw the back end and provide a fillet and rounds as it is provided with 3 mm. Okay, new sketch, just uncheck this default template. Okay, before that we will select the working directory. Okay, working directory which has all the files in it. I'm creating a new folder in the desktop, naming it as universal joint and creating a working directory. Working directory should be created suitably. Whenever you are saving all the files, it will be saved in the working directory, and it helps in assembly also. Okay, so we'll get a message successfully changed to working directory. Now we'll create a new part, naming the part which is component name is fork. Uncheck the default template such that choose it is millimeter Newton solid, MMNS part solid. I am creating a modeled by as my name. Okay, it will be useful during attributes in detailing. Okay, now choose the front plane and sketch view. Okay, choose sketch mode and click sketch view. Now we will draw the fork. So first one, as I said, it is 57 into 84. Taking the rectangle, I am making it symmetric such that it helps me in assembly. In assemble view, it helps whenever I am trying to make it as symmetric. So here it is 57. Okay, here it is 84. Okay, trying to get it as symmetric. So it is 57 by 2 and here it is 84 by 2, such that if you look at this, it will be symmetric to x and y axis. It helps in assembly and making an extruding. So extruding, even here also the symmetry, extrude on both sides. Extrusion, it is 14. Sorry, 16. Okay, 16 mm. So now we will just draw the next one. Sketch view, make references, making out references. Okay, take the center line such that the circle remains with 18 mm towards the surface. So 18 mm. Okay, since center line will not meet out, will not make errors, you can also use the construction mode. So choosing the circle and the dimension for it is 40 dia and 16 dia. I am making out two circle. So it is 16 and another one is 40. Okay. So now I have to make a tangent. I have to choose this. It shows a T symbol such that it comes as a tangent. Draw another tangent line with respect to the surface which is extruded already. Now trim the unwanted surface, whatever the surface which is unnecessary, just remove it using the trim tool. Remove carefully such that it won't affect the tangent line. Now we have to close the corresponding sketch, drawing a line towards the surface. Now we will extrude it. Okay, here extrusion is made on one side only. Okay, switch on the arrow such that it passes to the other direction. Okay, so extrusion on one side. So extrusion it is 14. Here you could see it is 84 minus 56 divided by 2 such that it is 14 on both sides. So for one side it is 14. I'll also show you can directly input, okay, instead of calculating. So 84 minus 56 divided by 2. So it is 14. Okay. Next we will take the mirror of it. Select the extrude, choose the mirror option such that choose the middle plane, you will get the mirror. Okay. Then we'll model the backside part of a fork where the shaft can be placed. Okay. Sketch view. Now take a circle. So at a midpoint, draw a circle with a diameter which is 57. Okay. So as you could see here it is 57. Okay, for the diameter with an extrusion of 38. Okay. So extrude it. Check for a standard orientation. So extrusion on one side only with 38. Okay. So now we'll make a hole in this as it is represented. So sketch view. Okay, hole of 30 diameter. Here you could see it is 30 diameter hole. So change it into 30 diameter. Okay. So extrude it. Look for a standard orientation. And now we have to remove the material. So automatically, okay, if you are dragging it, we may see that material is removed. Okay, we have almost completed the first component in universal joint. Now we have to draw the access for key. That is, we have to draw the keyway. As it is shown, first we'll take the references for drawing the keyway. Okay, clicking the reference. Okay, take the rectangle. Okay, rectangle and a center line, since keyway is restricted as 8 into 3.5 mm. So it is 8 and making a symmetric of it, so it is 4, and this is, I think it is 7. Okay, 7. Meanwhile it is 3.5 from the hole which is made. Okay. So now we are ready to extrude and to remove the material. So here you could see the keyway which is 8 into 3.5 which is made here, and the corresponding the parallel key which is inserted, which consists of 7 into 8. So here you could see, okay, 3.5. Okay. So instead of 20, there have been some limitations. Okay. So clearly it is mentioned key way is 8 into 3.5, and that's why we have made it. It is 8, it is 3.5, since it is 7 by 2. Okay, then extruding it, then switch over the directions, or we'll do this on extrude on both sides, drag it and choose remove material, such that our keyway is done. Okay, then we will make a round. It is provided round of 3 mm. We will choose all the parts whichever necessary, which requires round. So it is again round, followed by the corners. Rounding is made in order to avoid sharp corners. Okay, and that's it. We have completed making the component 1, which is fork. Okay, 2 forks are used in universal joint, the same similar fork. Okay, successful. So we will move on to the next one. Before that we will save it. Okay, so this is saved to the working directory. So move on to the next one, new part. It is center block. I will name it as center. Okay, so uncheck the default template, choose the millimeter Newton solid. Again, I'm just naming it, branding it. It is made by me, Ramesh. Okay, so choose the front view, sketch mode, and then the sketch view. Okay, so how shall we proceed this? So we have to make 2 circle. One circle is 32 dia, another one is 16 dia, and meanwhile we have to 32, 16, we have to extrude it for 56. Okay, so first we'll make this center layer, and next by taking 18 reference we'll do another thing. Okay, first take a circle. Okay, similarly another one adjacent circle. So one is, yeah, it is 32 diameter, and another one is, it is 16, yeah, 16 diameter. And this extrusion is made for 56. So okay, click OK. Extrude. As I said, symmetric extrude on both sides. It helps in assembly. So it is 56. Extrude for 56. Standard orientation. Yeah, paka. Okay. So then select the suitable plane. Go for the vertical plane. Okay. Provide sketch. Sketch view. So now make a reference and just provide the dimension as 18, taking the center line as a reference one and changing the dimension as 18. Okay, you may witness here, you may see here it is 18. So in that 18, continue the same procedures, taking the difference as 18. Okay, draw 2 circle similar to the previous step. One is 32, another one is 16. So it is 32, sorry, 16 and 32. Okay, 32. Okay. So now we will extrude this. So the extrusion dimension is, as you could see, the previous one. Extrude on both sides. It is 56. Okay. Now we have to remove the inner material, okay, which blocks the way for pin. So just choose the reference and click OK. circle, create a circle, click OK, extrude, and then remove the material, extrude on both sides, just drag it, okay, remove the material, okay. I have provided 56. You may also just drag it since we are just removing the material. Do the same one for the other similar center. Okay. Choose the corresponding plane, sketch view, sketch. Okay. Reference. Click on the center, that is circle. Circle. Click OK. Again, extrude. Standard orientation. Just remove it, extrude on both sides. Remove material. Automatically it is done. That's all. We have completed the second model. Okay. Okay, now we will save this. Second center is done. The third one, new part. Third one is shaft as provided. It is shaft. Uncheck the default template. Click OK. And it is modeled by Ramesh. Okay. Here I made a pass and clicked the corresponding MMNS. Okay. Better you do this. Always prefer to choose millimeter Newton solid MMNS. Otherwise it may go into inches. We will see here the shaft, it is 30 diameter with the 60, and the other dimension is not provided. We may consider it as 100 or 120. Okay, with the chamfer of a 2 into 45 degree, chamfer angle of 45, okay, with 2 mm. Okay, it is as simple as it is. Meanwhile, we have to make a key, parallel key. Okay, choosing the front view, sketch view. First let us draw a circle of 30 diameter, and extrude hit to 60 plus some 30 or 40. Say it is 100. Okay. Extrude on both sides, symmetric. As I said, it is 60. We may consider plus 30 or 40. So 40. That is 100. Okay, 60 plus some space, since there is no restriction with the length of the shaft. Okay. So now we will just make the assess the space for key, where the parallel key is provided. We have to make a slot for key. Okay. So choose the reference, make a center line such that from bottom it is 26. Okay, I made a 2 reference line, and choosing the dimension by clicking on the 2 reference line. So it should be 26. Okay, as it is mentioned, you could see here it is 26 and the slot is for 8. Okay, so we will take a rectangle here for 8 slot, making it symmetric. So it is 8 and here it is 4. Okay, so it is done. You could see it. Yeah. Now So it is 8 and 4. Since so that we could provide the key slot properly. So click on OK, extrude. Just check with the standard orientation. Change the direction and how long the key slot to be made. It is 60 as it is provided in the diagram. It is 60. So the key slot is successful. Okay, yeah. So then the chamfer key slot is successful. You could see we have made it for 60. Okay, and another is some extra recess. There is no restriction on the length. So now the chamfer with 2 into 45, the angle of 45 degree with 2 should be made. Click on chamfer. Here it is 45 into D. It is 2. Click on the edge such that chamfer is made and click OK. And that's it. Shaft is done. The third component is done. Okay. As simple as it is. We'll save it. Yeah, successful. So we'll move on to the next one. Uncheck the default template, rename it, and obviously the next one is parallel key. Sorry, the fourth one, parallel key. We are making the key. It is very simple. Okay, 7 into 8 and the extrusion is 56. Okay. So name it as parallel key. Choose the default template, which is MMNS. Just make your name. It is suitable if you are making it for detailing. Here I have passed and I have chosen the MMNS. Don't think it is in inches. Okay. Click on the front plane. Click on sketch view, sketch mode and sketch view. Okay. So now choose the rectangle. It is 8 and 7. Make it as symmetric. That helps in assembly and that helps in all the other next steps during assembly probably. So it is 7 by 2. So it is 3.5. And here it is 8 by 2. It is 4. Since it is symmetric. Okay. Okay. Standard orientation. Let us extrude this first. Extrude on both sides. And the extrusion is, you see it is 56. Okay. Now this is done. Okay. Then go for the fifth one, which is parallel pin. Sorry, which is pin. Okay. So first let us save it. Save the parallel key. Click new part, which is pin. Uncheck the default template and choose MMNS. I'm just ensuring to enter my name. Okay. Sorry. Okay, let us pause. Because I have to choose that MMNS. I'm forgetting it. Okay. So it is pin. Yeah, MMNS. Don't forget to do this. Okay. Otherwise, one part will be in inches, another part will be in millimeter. Okay. Let's now proceed to model the pin. Okay, pin. So pin first, let us draw the 25 dia and model the top surface by extruding for 9 mm, followed by the bottom surface for 16 diameter. Okay. And I extrude it for 96. Okay. Front plane, sketch mode, sketch view. Take the circle with a diameter of 25. Extrude it The extrusion is for 9. Okay. So then let us select the surface of it. Okay, surface with a dimension of 96. Okay, with the diameter of 16 mm. So sketch view, choosing the circle. Let us draw a sketch, changing the dimension as 16 mm. Okay, let us extrude it for 96. Okay, pin is made. So now I have to make a hole. You could see hole of 3 mm dia. It provides space for taper pin to enter. Okay, choose the references. Okay, so from bottom I'll make a reference line. So it is 89. You could see it is 89. There I have to make a 3 mm diameter of hole. Okay, so I'll make a reference. I'll choose the dimension, click on the first one, second one, middle button. So it is 89. That makes me easier to make a hole of 3 mm diameter, such that the taper pin can be entered in it easily. Okay, so extrude it, remove material, and the hole is automatically made for, it is 3 mm. You could see. Okay, since it is hole, I'm just dragging it. Okay, so hole is done, and that's it. We have completed the 5th one, which is pin. Save it. Okay, then click on new. The next part, which is collar. So I'm just checking whether pin is correct. Okay, collar. So for collar, you could see it is 16 dia and 25 dia with 10 mm extrusion, and we have a hole for 3 mm diameter, which provide access for taper pin. Okay, it is easy. Let us now let us model the collar. So choose MMNS. Yeah, branding is very important. Okay, then click on, let us just drag it. Okay, front, sketch view, click on circle. I'm making out a circle, and another one circle. Okay, changing the dimension of it is, one is 25 and another one is 16. Okay, we'll extrude it. Okay, extrude on both sides, and it is extruded for 10 mm. Okay, so you could check it is 25, 16 diameter and 10 mm extrusion. Now we will make a 3 mm hole, such that it provides access for taper pin. Okay, let me check. Yeah, okay. So choose the plane, mid plane, sketch view. Let me check. Yeah, it's fine. Okay, sketch view. I'll click on the circle and changing the dimension for 3 mm such that the hole can be made. Extrude it. Extrude on both sides. Okay, we will drag it. Then click on this remove material. Yeah, completed. The sixth component collar is completed successfully. We will save it. Okay. So now click on the next one and check the default template. Okay, what is the next one? Taper pin. As you could see, the last component. Wait, which is taper pin? Yeah, okay. One second. So this for this taper pin, yeah. First, let us start. I'll inform. So taper pin, which is to be provided in order to restrict the motion. So choose MMNS part solid. Yeah, it is needless, but anyway, okay. So okay, let us enlarge it. So here for drawing the taper pin, you could just witness, you could see that. So taper pin is made for 4 cross 30, that is 4 cross 30 with the taper of 1:30. 4 represent the one side of it, one side dia of it, and for 30 is the length. Taper is 1:30, which means for 30 length the taper will be decreased to 1 mm. Okay, such that we will proceed it. Okay, so as I said, we will use the revolve command to do this taper. Okay, so since it is 4, half of 4 is 2. First we'll draw a line. Okay, a small line, we'll make a small line and another one small line. So this should be 1 mm lesser than the first one. So half of 4 is 2. Since we are making a revolve, we have to consider half of the dimension here. And since the taper is 1 mm short, since the taper is provided 1:30, here it is 1.5. Because in the top it is 4, half of 4 is 2, in the bottom it is 3, half of 3 is 1.5. And meanwhile the length is 30. Okay, 15, 15. Anyway, we will again check with the length. Okay, hope you understood this. We are making a taper. We'll check with the length. Okay, I mean, well, it shows 15, 15. Yeah, 30. That's fine. We'll delete 1. Okay. So now we will join this using a line. Join the taper. It is a slight taper. Okay. Join it. Okay. And then connect it. Okay. In between there is no connection since it is not a closed surface. I am making a reference center line, in which reference line the revolve should operate, and after that we will connect it. Okay. Yeah, sorry. Okay. Okay, connect it. So now that's done. Click OK. You will just revolve it such that the taper pin is ready. Okay. So now we have successfully made all the, yeah, it's running. Okay, all the component for the universal joint. Okay, we will save it. Okay, yeah, done. Yeah, what is this? Okay, okay, no. So now we will proceed on to assembly. Click on one sec. You have to proceed with assembly directly Before that, let me, okay. So click on new and start with the fresh assembly. Yeah, okay. I'm checking for some issue. Sometimes the Creo parametric has not been operating. Okay, click on new assembly. So providing the name it as universal underscore joint. You have to provide underscore or something properly, otherwise the name will show error. And uncheck the default template. I'm just branding it. Okay, providing my name. Fine. Okay. So here choose it is inches and here MMNS assembly design, and you may provide your name. Modeled by and the description, you may provide optional description such that it will be useful for detailing during your detailing process. So click the assemble, click the fork and make this as a default one such that other elements are framed up based on the constraints of this fork. Now let us import center block. Click center and OK. Choose your convenient view such that the assembly is made simpler as possible. Okay. To whichever extent it is convenient for you, zoom it and just use the slider to rotate the direction. Click on planes. Okay. Vertical plane and horizontal plane, and using the center line or surface. So my methodology is here is based on a vertical plane, a horizontal plane, okay, and either center line or surface for in order to obtain the fully constrained option. If it is partially constrained, it won't be a good one because that's not a correct way of assembling it. So choosing the surface and surface, still it is partially constrained. Now choosing the center axis line. Okay, because sometime even if we click OK fully constrained, it may redirect, it may change its position. So I am restricting, making it constrained towards all the direction. Okay, click on the center line and yes, this one, another center line. Okay, so now it is fully constrained. Yeah, clear. So we will import the next one, the next fork. Click open. So just change the directions using the slider to the corresponding view where the assembly is made. Rotate the slider. Okay. So now choose the planes, vertical plane and the corresponding vertical plane of the fork. Okay. Make it as coincident. Okay. And it is 0 dimension. So now click on the horizontal plane and the horizontal plane of existing sub-assembly, the assembly, that is work in process assembly. Okay. Yeah, it is done. Okay. So we have some partially constrained state. Now click on the center axis of the hole towards the center axis. It is fully constrained. Clear? Yeah. Okay, let me check. Yeah, okay. That's fine. Okay. There is no flaws. No errors. Okay, okay. So now let us, for importing the next one, we'll check. Okay, we'll import the next one, which is pin. Okay, So this pin, or it is called as sometimes even a pin that kind of controls, which regulates the motion. Okay. So click on the corresponding surface on the surface, pin surface on the hole which is made in the fork. Okay. And also the surface to which it gets attached. Some coincident is made towards the surface of the pin to the surface of the hole. Since it makes the coincident, click OK. It is done. Okay. You could see, you could witness it is done. Then what we can do is we will import, we will take the collar, followed by the collar it is tapper pin. Okay, collar, let me check with the collar. Okay, tapper pin, I'm taking, okay. So, yeah. Click on the plane, both the horizontal and vertical plane. Meanwhile, we'll click on the surface. Click on surface such that it is fully constrained. Okay, I missed the collar. You could see it since we will complete it fast because we have a long way to go. Everyone can do this. You might have already learned it. Okay. My focus here is to show some detailing options. Anyway, I'll try to just assemble the shaft and followed by the keyway fast. Okay. So just move the direction of shaft to the appropriate directions. Fine. Click on the plane, horizontal plane to the horizontal plane, and make the distance as 0. You may follow any of this assembly. You may, whatever the assembly procedure which you are convenient with, either you may use parallel, normal, or angle offset, distance, coincidence, whatever you feel convenient, you can do it, no issues. Okay. So now let me just check with the surface. Now it is partially constrained. I'll drag it and provide some restricted fully constrained so that it helps in fixing the parallel key. Yeah, you can check here. Okay. So let me check. Okay, I'm choosing the plane for making it constrained, since plane of the shaft and the plane of the fork. Okay, and this distance of constraints can be controlled. So the key, it consists of 56. So here I'm making it as 60. Okay, for the total of 100. Okay, let me check with this 100. Yeah, so that can be 60. Click on OK. Fine. Okay, so now we'll take the parallel key which restricts the motion of this shaft towards the fork. So that is why we have made a slot in shaft and in also the fork. So click on the plane. So one simple assembly technique is to make with two plane and one surface, or two plane and one center line, or else a plane with the corresponding surface. Okay. So click on another surface to which the surface is supposed to be getting attached with. Okay, and the distance is 0. Okay, and click on the shootable. I just don't want to get into plane now. Okay, click on the shootable surface such that directly it gets attached and it is fully constrained. Yeah, good. Okay. Yeah, one side it is done, and we will what we can do is we have to repeat the same on the next. Quickly I will do this. I may not bore you much for taking a longer time in this simple steps. Follow the similar procedure using the two plane and one surface approach. Okay, I'm clicking on the corresponding plane, and this direction, that is this distance, can be controlled such that we may fix the corresponding parallel key the appropriate distance. Okay, just the same similar procedures. Click OK, and then bring the okay. Yeah, it is fine. Good. Okay, now let us bring the another parallel key. Fastly will assemble it. Okay, first making the plane to plane contact, and then the two surface contact. Okay, so here on the left side you could see there is no errors or flaws which has been made. Errors, if it is error, there will be a small box if you show it as a partially constrained. Okay, so now let me click on the other surface to which it was supposed to get attached. It is partially constrained, and another one surface to which it should be supposed to be attached. Okay, clicking on the next one. Yeah, fully constrained. So now that's it. Okay, so now we will what we can do in order to improve the appearance, we may just what we can do, we may add some colors. Okay, you may see we have successfully assembled it. We may improve the appearance by providing differences between one component, one part over another part in the whole assembly by using colors. Let me choose green for fork. Click OK. Okay. Then choose some other color, say brown for center block. Click OK. Then let us choose red for the pin, or wait, let me see, shaft. Okay. So since it seems to be full green, we may choose some other color. Okay. We may choose blue, we may miss to choose blue also. So likewise you can choose some colors for each and every individual part. That helps to differentiate one part over another part in the whole lot of component in all the components. Okay, choose the pin and choose the appropriate you may choose any colors. Okay, and the last one, tapper pin. Okay, yeah, it's fine. So appearance, that's how we improve the aesthetic, but it seems to be similar. So this is how our universal joint operates, okay, in the transmission shaft in the automotive. Okay, it's absorbing shocks and any sudden intermittent shock loads, okay, during the power transmission. Okay, yeah. So what we do is next, before that, let me change the color of one fork since it fully looks like green. Okay, it gives some differentiating appearance between one body towards its counter body part and counterpart. And that's it, we have made the assembly. We will save it, and now we will move on to the next one, which is detailing. In the detailing, we may, whenever we produce the output, we should show that in a detailed view or an assembly view as like in a drawing sheet. Okay, choose the drawing, name it as your convenience. Here I am going with the empty format, choosing the landscape and A4 sheet. There may be predetermined formats too. So this is a drawing platform, a drawing sheet platform, where in the left you can see all the part and the assembly. Click on assembly, general view, no combined state. No combined state is the full assembly model. Click in a suitable place and you will get an option to scale. So custom scale, either you can enlarge, increase or decrease, zoom it or unzoom it. Okay, and in the view display it may show wireframe hidden and no hidden size. Choose it appropriately. I'm choosing the display side as phantom such that it provides its edges properly. Okay, you can change the way how it looks like. Okay, now it has been scaled to 0.6. You may just improve if you need it. Okay, I'm just increasing it to 0.8. Fine. So increase it such that whenever we make a print of it, it meets, it is stable within the corresponding sheet. Okay, if you are decreasing the scale value, it looks very small when you are making a print of your drawings, your model. Okay, so I'm just trying to reduce it. Okay, so I'm providing it as 0.750. Still I'll reduce it to 720. Yeah, now it shoots, it fits us within the sheet, A4 sheet, landscape A4 sheet. Click on the assembly, click on projection view, you will get projected view, that is right side view and front view, that is top view, bottom view, so on. So top view. So you may get this clear idea if we are changing the way it looks. Instead of a default isometric orientation, you may prefer some other orientation, either front, back or left, such that everything automatically changes according to the position. You may see now for the front view how the right side view and how the top view looks like. Okay, there is an option, you can change it, you can present it in such a way. Okay, see the left side view of it. We will also see a top view, how it looks like in the top view, in the right side view. Okay, and just reducing the scale. So reducing the scale of the actual parent assembly reduces all other counterpart of projected view, you could see. Okay, just exploring you to know about these facilities in Creo. Okay, so again increasing the scale value. So now we will annotate it, that is we will provide dimensions, automatic dimension. Click on the part, click show model annotation. It will provide some dimensions, okay, based on, normally we won't be using this for assembly, but for individual part we will use it. Anyway, I'm just representing here. We will again check it with each and every individual component of the universal joint. Okay, so we'll delete this. So now we have our full assembly. Okay, and now I'll import the fork. Click general view, click OK, click a point such that fork is imported, and use the scale and the view display to change how the component, in which style the component. I am clicking shading with edges and phantom such that all the corners will be properly shaded with the edges. I am trying to increase the scale. Instead of 0.5, let us provide 0.7. Click OK. Clear? So such that in detailing you have to import each and every individual component. Now we will project this. Okay, top view and left side view, how it looks like, that projection, individual projection views. Okay, we may change the default orientation into some other view such that all the projected view changes automatically. If I am modifying the view orientation, you could see automatically it gets modified. Okay, yeah. You can also do the model annotations here. Automatically individual dimensions are annotated. We will do that. Okay, it asks for corresponding changes. Okay, so now what we can do is click on the part. Before that, let me check. Okay, yeah, annotate. It shows all the dimensions of this component. So here first it will be in red. You choose what are the dimensions which you want. It turns into blue. Okay, that makes us a strong dimension, and that it is visible in the drawing sheet. Okay, all those functional and the needed dimensions that is to be communicated can be selected. Okay, so individual diameters and the length. So here it is 57, here it is 30. Okay, let us select this 30 also. Okay, so these are the major dimensions that is necessary. Let us click apply. Okay, and cancel it. So all the others dimensions are gone. Now I can adjust the dimension. Click it and just drag it. You can adjust the dimension within the shade within the corresponding suitable space. Okay, just click it and just drag it. Okay, and just adjusting all the dimensions to the convenient space. Okay, these are just to communicate the dimension. In detailing, we are supposed to do this activity. Okay, that represent detailing of each and every individual component in your whole assembly. Okay, so I'm clicking. Whenever you click it, that makes a dimension whichever you need to be communicated, and do the same thing for other projected view. This is how you have to provide your outputs. Even this is how we used to show it in the record in the document. Okay, so adjusting the dimension within the drawing sheet. Okay, so this is for fork. You can utilize either one projected view for all the individual part. Okay, let us take another one sheet to do some other similar activity related with the fork. I'm making a master representation of universal joint, sitting in the center. Now click on general view, click no combined state, click OK at any point. Center will be appearing. Okay, changing the view display and making it as, let us try something new for this. No hidden. Okay, eliminating the hidden view, and instead of solid it just shows like a wireframe with hidden lines. Okay, so now let us just set with try to import some other component along with almost all the component in the universal joint. Click the suitable component. Let me try with fork. Okay, click on general view, click OK. You'll get a fork. Follow the same similar either you can improve or improve the view display using few options. You can try few options. Okay, normally it is advisable for you to choose the wireframe with no hidden. Okay, so we will try to bring other similar in similar way. We'll try to bring other components. Okay, okay. So you have to represent your outputs after completing the individual component part, after modeling it, making the assembly, and after assembly just make an import of it in the drawing sheet, import all the different component, make annotations, that is do the dimensioning in one sheet, that is one sheet represent the detailing. Okay, and another one sheet complete a full assembled view along with the title block, along with your maybe your register number, name, and along with the component heading which you are working with. Okay, let me add some more components. If there is no space, you can change the suitable scaling, either increase or decrease the scaling, suitable scaling. I am trying to scale and improve the overall view. Okay, yeah. Drawing model, set model, color, click general view, click at any point and click OK. So you get a color. So this color, yeah, I have missed it actually. I thought of it saves time, but it is very similar. Again, choosing a two plane and choosing the surface of it, surface which provides a hole. Okay. Through that you may assemble it. Okay. Because in the meantime I have paused it and I forgot. Okay, no issue. So what about other thing? Tapper key, parallel key, tapper pin. Okay, tapper pin is brought. So parallel key. shaft. Okay, so by now we have got all the components. Click on general view, click no combined state, uh, scale it down since it may be looking like a larger one. I'm providing it as 0.5. Okay, now show the either projection view or show the annotations, that is dimension for any one component. Okay, as we have explored in the previous, like fork. So click on fork, click choose model dimension, fork, choose model dimension. It will show you all the different types. Okay, so what happened? Let me check. I'm choosing assembly. Okay, yeah, fine. So the same similar procedure how we have did the annotations, may make it. Just click on whatever the dimension which is needed, click apply. Okay, such that it shows the dimension. We may adjust the dimension within the sheet or to the corresponding space which we feel convenient. This is for tolerance. Okay, I'm just trying to change the orientation, and actually the annotations were left, and again we may bring the annotations, no issue. Okay, click it, show model annotation. Now click on the suitable annotation which you feel, whichever is necessary for communicating the design dimensions. Okay, I'm clicking the 16, 32 and 56. Okay, the important two dimensions for the inner hole, and the extrusion length 56, and clicking OK. I'm trying to change the position of the corresponding annotation such that it seems to be legible after printing it. Okay, so please practice all these steps. It is not just we model a part and we assemble it. So in your final documentation, in your final record, I need everyone to you may utilize this for submitting any of your presentations, whatever the component may be. Okay. Yeah, fine. So for an example, I'm just showing the model annotations for the center block. You may just do this for all the component, all the different component. Okay, based on the space restrictions within the sheet in which you are taking the printout for further communication. Since this is, I'm just explaining it, I'm choosing some appropriate the important dimensions in the annotations mode. Okay, so if you are clicking it, it turns blue and it will be shown in the sheet, drawing sheet. Otherwise it automatically it is hidden, it is cancelled. I'm just trying to change the position of all the annotations, all the dimensions. Okay, through this you can just click and shift the position of all the dimensions. I'll just reduce the scale. wireframe and hidden. Just check with the different options available in display style. Normally choose with no hidden and phantom, such that it shows the actual part, which is very legible after making a printout of it, taking a print of it. Okay, so in such a way do this for all the component. Let me try with some other component such that you will be familiarized with. Okay, click the part, choose the model annotations. It shows the annotation, that is the dimension 16, 25 and the whole radius of 3 mm. Click OK. You can adjust the corresponding dimensions or annotations. Okay. Since it may be a lengthy one, you can just fast forward it using the option, okay, up to 1.5h, 2h something. Okay, so since this is the first one, I am doing it a little slowly so that trying to make you to understand and familiarize with the basic tool. Okay. So utilizing the projection option and annotation option helps a lot in detailing view in a sheet, which helps in communicating for your design the various components, such that either the component is to be manufactured or is to be fabricated. Provide suitable dimensions. Enough communication has to be made. Okay, click it, it turns blue as I said. Once it turns blue, it will be appearing in your sheet, in your drawing sheet. Okay, I'm just providing the enough space for it. Okay, similarly the extrusion dimension and the diameter of it. So the purpose behind it is to communicate the proper dimension which is necessary for to the downstream process. Okay, either if you are giving this sheet to the manufacturing team, such that they won't be ambiguous, won't get confusion in any dimensions. Now let us look on how do we just bring the general assembly and how do we make the title block, bill of materials. Okay, it is an essential one, very important one. I'll enlarge it, zoom it using the scale option. Okay, oh god, it is maximum one. Let us reduce it to 1 or 0.8. So it is 0.9. Let me try with, okay, no, it is not fine. So 0.8, yeah. So for 0.8 scaling fits within the sheet, shading with the edges and phantom, edges will be shaded, it is displayed properly, aligned properly. Click OK. So this is how wireframe looks like and hidden looks like. You may just check how it looks like in wireframe and hidden. Whenever printing, while printing, it is supposed to be printed with hidden lines or non-hidden lines, now hidden. Since it makes interesting, so I'm just using the shading with the edges. But while printing, always it is preferable to use either hidden or no hidden. Now we will watch on title, how to make a title block and bill of materials. So click on table. So it is serial number, either component name and the quantity. I'm clicking on 3 important component, how it is auto generated. Okay, it is 3 cross 3 initially, later that we will repeat the region. So it is 3 column, 2 rows. Okay, click on the first one, double click it. You can edit it. I am typing it as serial number and it is component name or just name of the individual part, component name. Okay, since it collides with the next column, but anyway we will adjust it. We'll adjust the column width, table width. So double click it, last one is quantity. Okay. So now just select it, adjust the height and width, click on width, it is 1.3, adjust to some 2 or 3.3, so 2.3. So just drag the table such that it is positioned within the drawing sheet. Okay. So now click on the first row and wait, let me check. Okay. Now we have to repeat all the individual component. Okay, individual component. Click repeat region, click add, click on the first cell in the individual row, click on the last cell in the individual row, click done. Okay, so it is now click when you before okay, sorry, it's not working. Yeah, before that we have to tell what are the needs thing that should be updated. For the first one, click on report and click on index. Second one, click on component name. For that it is assembly, ASM, member and name, ASM, MBR, name. And the last one, click on same RPT, index. Sorry, it is quantity. Yeah, sorry, it is quantity, QTY. So the first one is rpt.index, last one is rpt.qt. Switch symbols. When you click switch symbols, you will get all the component name. But you could see here there are two component, that is parallel key is 2, fork is 2, and the quantity is missing. So click on repeat region, click on attributes. Okay. So after clicking attributes, click on the first cell and provide no duplicate. Click on no duplicate. Click on done return. So now it is updated. That is, we have got one center, 2 fork is utilized in this assembly, 2 parallel key is used, and 2 shaft is used. You may witness collar is not used. We forgot to do it, but you have to, while drawing it, please ensure that you assemble the collar without fail. Okay. And just adjusting the properties. Okay, before that we will add bill of materials. Okay, bill of material balloon, automatically it is generated. Okay, click create balloons and all. Like in the dimension annotations, you can adjust the corresponding balloons. Okay, to the convenient click on the balloon and just adjust it. You may see here in the serial number first center, and this balloon show that where the center is being assembled in the whole assembly. Okay, and the fifth one is shaft. You may see the fifth one showing the shaft. This is auto generated. Okay, I'm just adjusting all the balloons which indicates which part is what, which indicates the different part or different components. Okay. Fine. So that makes sense. Okay. Now we'll click on the table. Okay. We will just change the text and colors of heading, that is the title, serial number, component name, and quantity. Okay. So selecting all the table. Okay. So click on text style and click on uncheck the default. Choose the corresponding font, some other font which you feel comfortable with, any font. I'm choosing Spartan bold, Spartan 1-2 empty bold. Okay. So it seems to be legible instead of auto created font. You can change the font. You can do all those customization cosmetic option. So now I have to just bring it into center. Okay. Let me click on the first column and bring the all component, all various element towards the center. Meanwhile, quantity to the center. it looks good. And I'll change the color of the heading into some either red or green, whichever it has to enable. So click it properly such that it is enabled. Okay, yeah, it works. So eventually I will change the color of a component name and quantity into red. Okay, it again, yeah, okay, fine. So now this looks okay, this looks good. And now we will just click on the table and provide a suitable title. Okay, as it is universal joint assembly view of universal joint, you provide any suitable title for it. Okay, what we do is like we may type something like universal joint assembly. Okay, now repeat all the same work which we made for the table. That is, increase the width of the table, change the font of it, recolor it so that it looks great. Okay, increase the width. I'm increasing changing the font, choosing some other font. We may choose some other universal OTS bold, something like bold. Changing the color, choose purple since purple is favorite. Okay. Again, I have to increase the width of it. I'm changing the position. Okay. Choosing some other, trying to choose some other font. Omega bold. Okay. Fine. You can just check with any suitable font, whichever you feel comfortable, whichever you feel good with. So that Spartan is good. So let us increase the width of the table. Instead of 3.3 is providing 4.3 or 4.5. Okay. So now it seems legible and neat. You can choose your appropriate font instead of the default font which is created. Now let us make another one title block, provide our name, registration number, department, lab, subject, so on, date. Okay. This title block you might have seen, you might have even studied during your classes in engineering drawing. Okay. This is an important one. You have to make it. It signifies each and every individual work. Okay. Sorry. Here I have to make two drawing. I'll delete it. Two columns. We are in need of two columns. Okay. Okay. Just directly type it. Let us give a name as title, and this can be title, and this can be particulars or remarks, something else. Remark. Okay, particulars. Let us type it as particulars. Provide your register number. This is just an example. You may also do the same thing during in your documentation, records, so on, project, submitting the drawing sheet, so on. Industries follows their own table formats. Okay. So register number, name, and enter your what is this, subject. Yeah, subject. And what we can do, the next one, we may enter date, we may enter even department, college. Okay. One second, department. Okay. So our register number I'll start with 0. Okay, instead of 4001, let me go with the actual register number. And before that, we have to increase the width of entire table. Click on properties and increase the width of column, okay, such that I have got a bigger table. Okay, let me just decrease it to some extent. So now that shoots within the limit. Okay, so click on it, choose, let me check. Okay, now we will before typing the individual particulars, let me try to change the title and particulars. We will prefer the same, right? Okay. So now enter your data 111718114000. Instead of 1, we'll proceed with 000. And name, yeah, obviously my name Ramesh. Okay. And the subject, it is CAD/CAM lab. CAD/CAM lab. Okay. On date, today's date, favorably, to make a remembrance of making this session. So it is 9th March 2021. Okay. Department, proud of mechanical engineering. Okay. That looks good and fine. Let's do a few cosmetic, that is change the font of it, and it looks great. Okay, so select the entire table. So sorry, it's not here. I have to choose the text style, format text style. Okay, so uncheck the default, click the font, go for Spartan 1 2 empty board. Okay, so that looks great, little bit great, but I have to just move, move the entire table so that it fits within the drawing sheet. So let us increase the width of this table to some extent. Height and width, increase the width. Let us say it is 3, so we may give 3.2. No, that's not fine. We may have to either increase it. Let me check. Okay. So 3.4, 3.4, 3.5. Yeah, it is sufficient, but still we may increase it with the 3.6 and adjust the table. So this is how we will be presenting your work, your model, okay, with the exact bill of material, with the exact ribbon balloons, and this is the output file. After exporting it as PDF, you will be getting your output PDF file in this way. So it looks legible and neat for our record, for our documentation and presentation, so on. Okay, so I hope you understood clearly. Thanks. Thank you.